Pittsburgh Penguins played 2 games on the weekend. First, they played Friday against the Edmonton Oilers and beat them in a shootout. No points for Crosby. McDavid had a sick game, scored a goal, but Crosby did score in the shootout. Phil Kessel sniped game-winning goal in the shootout. Penguins take that one. That game on Saturday, which is the focus of this video. Penguins in action again, playing the Vancouver Canucks, and it was Crosby versus Ryan Miller 2.0. Ryan Miller was up to the task. He was absolutely outstanding. He made 49 saves. He had 49 shots against, made 47 saves. The last one was in the empty net. Crosby had 9 shots in goal. Sheary had 8 shots in goal. Malkin had 5 shots in goal. Kessel had 5 or 6 shots in goal. Incredible effort from the Penguins, and despite the fact that the Penguins are very injured, about a third of their roster is out right now, and a lot of the guys are getting our call-ups. They are looking like the team that won the Stanley Cup. They're heating up at the right time. Washington's on a slump. Pittsburgh is 1 point away from them. They're catching up to the President's Trophy between Washington and Minnesota, and they're playing a hot team tonight in Calgary, who's won the nine straight games. Should be a sick. So, as mentioned, the Penguins win 3-0. It should have been like 5-0 if not for Ryan Miller, who was absolutely incredible. Going back to his Buffalo days to 2009, 2010, that's no winning season. That's what he looked like. Blast from the past. He was robbing Crosby and Sheary all night. Sheary would finally score in the empty net and set up Jake Guentzel for a sick little flip play behind the net. Great pass for a tap-in. Jake Guentzel scores a goal, and that line, Sid and the kids, is my new favorite line. It is so fun to watch. I wanted Mike Sullivan to put them together, and I'm so glad that one bad game finally allowed him to be able to do that, because those three have looked so good. Malkin's on fire with Kessel. Kessel's in a bit of a slump, but I mean, it's not for lack of trying. He's still playing well. And then you have Malkin with Kunitz, someone who I refer to as Crosby's garbage man, but has a lot of experience playing with Malkin. Remember the last time Malkin won the Art Ross Trophy, he had Kunitz and Neal as his line mates, so they've got some good chemistry. Then you have, Wilson and Benino and Kunako were together, and then you rotated in Sundqvist and Rowney, and that was a lot of fun. And Sundqvist looked really solid. He's going to be really good next year when Colin ultimately retires. And Colin could have played tonight. He did took line rushes on the third line. But despite the fact that the Penguins are missing Brian Rust, Carl Hagelin, Patrick Hornquist, Oli Mata, Trevor Daley, Chris Letang, they have not missed a beat. This is how important it is to have depth, and it is so nice to have this problem of where a guy's going to fit when they come back, as opposed to even 3 years ago when we were missing Crosby, Malkin, and Jordan Stahl. Was that 5 seasons ago? And we had like Steve Sullivan and Tyler Kennedy on top line. No offense to either of those players, but it was rough. I mean, what this team has done, despite injuries, is incredible. So much resiliency from this team, and give Mike Sullivan a lot of credit. He's stuck with the game plan, except for that one Tom Sestito blip. They've just played, and they've not let anything else get in their way, and they're coming out at the right time. Their numbers is turning around. They're much better defensively lately, despite not having all these players. Those trades are really important, and when this team is healthy, they're going to have so many options, because Jake Guentzel's staying out for the rest of the season. He's earned it. He's another one of those guys that they've called him from the AHL who's contributed, and that was so key last season. Connor Sheary, oh my goodness, he's on a roll since coming back from injury. His second stint with injury this season. He had the eye injury, and then he had, I guess, his upper body or whatever it was. And if he's already on pace for 50 points. Yes, a lot of that is playing in Crosby's wing, but he's earned that. He's played really well. He's super fast and feisty. He could probably reach 60 points if he was healthy all season, and that, as we know, is first line numbers. Pretty amazing. Jake Guentzel did not think he'd be this good, especially as a third-round pick. Connor Sheary was drafted as signed as a free agent. Jake Guentzel, third-round pick. He's going to be out full-time next year. He's already at 10 goals in probably only 20, 25 games. He's played really well. I'm really liking him with Crosby and Sheary. He's really good on the power play. He's a very smart player. He's super fun to watch, and those three have some nice chemistry. The young guy is stepping it up. So, when Brian Rust gets back, where is he going to play? Because he played out with Malkin last year and was really good. He's played with Crosby, he's not looked as good. I can see him going back into the 3-4 line. But then, Tom Kuhnhack's played well lately, and he's good on the penalty kill. Do take him out. What about Carter Rowney? They'll probably send him down, but he's even looked decent. He's held his own. And then, of course, you're going to keep Matt Cullen. Then what about Scott Wilson? He's looked good. Where do you put Hagelin and Hornquist when they get back? Who gets sent down? I mean, they'll probably send down Archibald and Rowney and Sundqvist, but Sundqvist will be up here next year, and then someone's gonna have to sit out because Gensel has earned that spot. So you don't want to have Knockle every night. So who's gonna sit out? Maybe if he's the odd man out every night, then he's gonna get rusty next time he's called in, and he's really killing the penalty kill. So that's a really good problem to have. And then defense, I don't know what they're going to do because Hainsey and Streit have looked really good. Streit especially has been really helpful on the power play. You definitely want to keep him. And, that's actually been a half-decent pairing. I was a little bit worried about that, but they've looked good. Schultz and Dumoulin have really looked good together. Of course, Tan will take Schultz's spot. And then, Ian Cole's had a good season. He scored a nice goal on Saturday. What do you do with Mata and Daly? I mean, personally, they've not played very well. I wouldn't play them. Maybe put them in different pairings. They might play better. Just together, they're not good. So it's a fun problem to have. These young, a lot of young, cheap, the little deals. You don't have to go out and make a big blockbuster deal like the Capitals. They got out Shattenkirk, and now look what's happened. They're slumping. Penguins made those little deals, and they're on a roll. They're finally doing the things that Ratio should have done a long time ago. The 1 year he won General Manager of the Year, 2013, he went out and got all those players, but Jerome McGinley was not a fit. Morrow was slow. Douglas Murray was awful. And the team got swept in the third round. And that was it. So, I mean, you don't need to have to make a big splash. You do the little deals like this, and they pan out, and they've worked really well. Calgary's another team that's made those little deals. They went out and they got Brian Elliott. They needed a goalie. I thought it was a bad deal at the time. I still am not a fan of Brian Elliott, but he's played a lot better lately. He stepped it up. Then they went out and got Chad Johnson, who had a ridiculous start to the season. And they're two of the hottest teams in the league right now. Should be a really fun, fast-paced game. Calgary's more physical than Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's got more speed. I definitely think Pittsburgh can exploit Calgary's D, especially Derek Englund. But it should be a fun game. And Fleury's in net. I'm not really sure why. It's not a back-to-back. And Murray got a shutout last game. So that signals to me he's earned it. Not sure why Fleury's playing. I mean, yeah, you could say maybe Philly's a more important game because it's a divisional rival next game, but why don't you just play Murray for both? I mean, he's going to be playing in playoffs. He's your guy. It's a 1 day in between. He's used to it. You might as well keep the rhythm going. You don't want to interrupt a good thing. I don't really get that decision, but maybe Mike Sullivan knows Fleury's only got a few starts left in him, so he wants to give him a start. I don't know, but it's a good problem to have. The Penguins are looking good right now. I just hope they keep this up. It's been a good weekend for me for sports overall. I went to my first ever basketball game, and that was really fun. I went to 3 in a row, actually. My university team got the bronze medal at the national championship, finished third of the country. It was 1 point away from winning the gold medal game. Next time. Anyways, yeah, and that's the Dalhousie Daggers. That was a lot of fun. So my teams are doing well, and it should be a good game tonight. 1 month left of school. Things are good right now. So that's all I have for this video. What did you think of the game? What do you think of the goalie decision? What do you think of the lines? And what do you think of, potential playoff matchups? The Penguins actually finishing first would be way better for them because if they finish first, they'd move over to the Atlantic, and the Atlantic's a lot weaker. So I really hope that the Penguins can keep this up. They're not going to fall back down to 4. So first or fourth is what you want because the Atlantic's a lot weaker. Then again, the Penguins can definitely beat Columbus. So that's all I have for this video. Please like it if you like. Subscribe if you really like it. Share it with your friends. Tell everyone. And I'll see you after the next game. All right. Bye for now.